last night's live, I said I would upload the uninterrupted, unedited little voice clip that I received about this real life situation. Okay, look, if you want to go directly to the recording, look at the pinned comment. I have a timestamp, but I have some important information I want to say real fast in regards to all this little aftermath and future plans. Okay, as far as Ziggy and on panel last night, I want to respond to some confusion that I saw in the comments. Not a lot, but there's a little bit of confusion. First and foremost, go in real life. Personally, I think a lot of creators think they overuse this, this term, whatever you want to call it here. To me, there's doxing and then there's going an extra step, real life. And that's what the live was about. The live was not an open panel. Um, the live was definitely not about Summer Wells. I don't understand how people cannot separate the two things. Like, I'm not besties with Ziggy. I've publicly made dedicated lives to her, made parodies of her. I just wish more creators stuck up about this real life thing. What's the point of everybody crying about it if no one really stands up, even if it's with somebody you totally disagree with? But it's overused. Okay, I think people throw doxing in as going real life. I don't know if that's how they feel. That's how they feel. Personally, me, there's doxing and then there's real life. Look over here. We talk about true crime, prison, but we talk a lot about standing up for people. A lot of it's an anti-bullying channel. Has been for a long time. Um, in this situation, um, there was a creator reviewing um, the Circle Jerks, and one of the people was on Queen Bee's panel, and they're backpedaling, they're lying. You know what I'm saying? That's where I come in here. This is not a new thing that I got sent. This is like over a year ago. You can't, and if you're new to the channel, you can't come over here and tell me that Lady Ziggy doxes people all the time and dirty deletes it. So you mean to tell me that the lady cranks up a live and just randomly decides to dox people for no good reason? I think you're getting something confused with this. Look here, I'm against all that, okay? But on the internet, when people are making videos of you, you at some point you have to respond to it. The smartest thing to do would to be to ignore it. But if you respond to it, guess what? It usually goes away. Sometimes that's what they want you to do, yes. So it's how you handle it. But when someone's digging all up in your, personal, like messing with your family and stuff, you're just supposed to let that go. It's not like you started it. So and I'm going to make this very clear. If people play these games with me, I'm gonna do it back. Do I put it on the internet for everybody? I don't know. Depends on the situation. But any creator, look at a comment that says Ziggy just wakes up and doxes people. Like it's a little silly. Any creator's gonna laugh at that. But a lot of creators know what I'm saying right now. That's how you get rid of the situation. It is. And let me tell you how this goes. When people go real life, police reports and stuff, they don't hold any substance. Uh, any OGs of this channel, y'all know all about it. We've actually had uh, to get the police involved in stuff quite a few times. It's on my older lives. Y'all remember it. So there's confusion as of what's going on here. I'm specifically talking about this thing. I don't know or watch all of Queen Bee's um, channel. I don't know and watch all of Ziggy's channel. I will tell you, I know more about Ziggy's channel than Queen Bee. I'm talking about the live on Queen Bee. that had the circle jerks on it, and that Ziggy reviewed. So yeah, I asked Ziggy to come up. You think that was easy? We're not best friends. It's very hard to get her to come up. But when I had her up, she kept wanting to stop and debunk this thing, this recording that I'm about to play. So there's a confusion there. So that's that as far as that goes. Now, is there a video with the guy Jim and his family? Um, I hear there is. Okay, the you're missing the point still. This is about people going real life. There would not be a video of dude's family if these people aren't all in their business, getting them to come on the panel. Next, you see what I'm saying? It's created by them going real life. Like, I know about the situation, and I'm not saying Ziggy's a saint, but I understand if you have a distaste for her, which I'm not best friends with her. But put it aside for a second. The live's not about Summer. Why is Summer Wells in the comments? It's the first thing I said. Detach yourself, man. Remember that for a second. Next, Miss Cindy. I've invited on the panel to hear her side of the story many times. Many times. The last time before last night was in the Cam and Alley live. You can see Miss Cindy leave a comments, and I blocked a lot of Ziggy's people because I didn't want people, talking crap to her. Apparently, from what I'm gathering today, apparently she has 2 channels, 2 screen names. I never knew this. I just know the Cindy name. That's the one that I see. That's the one that I gave the invite. So last night, when this one person continually tries to go on the panel, the tits person, they don't get a link. When them people had a live of me, I wasn't offered a link. Like, you must be new to the channel over here. I mean, it's common sense. But I would let Miss Cindy tell her story any day of the week, and I bring her up because I'm not going to edit this recording. This is people. These people don't know me, and they're supposed to be friends with Cindy. But what you're about to hear is their opinion. Their opinion of Ziggy's not upset about her boyfriend of 9 years dying, but that he's not going to pay the rent. That's an opinion. How do you prove that? It's their opinion, what they say about Miss Cindy. It's their opinion. It's not fact. Lastly, when you talk of Ziggy and you think of the Summer Wells case, boy, do we not see eye to eye. But I do have plans to go into Tennessee soon. And I'm tired of seeing YouTubers do the same thing. I mean, Chasing Truth, she's documented around the house and stuff like that. Why does every YouTuber do the same thing? One YouTuber that I did like his way of thinking was Cam and Alley with the sack of potatoes and stuff. I plan on doing things like that. I'm not going to go do uh, the same thing that you've seen a million times. There's going to be some YouTubers that are looking silly with these conspiracy theories. I'm just saying. Now, when it comes to Ziggy, she believes Fred Hill has something to do with Summer Wells' case. I believe, if I remember right, that Don Wells, was it Fred Hill or the other guy that? No, it was the other guy that he fired. That was his gut instinct. Fred Hill, though, that's her thing, right? There's a big group of people who also think that. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do, but Fred Hill, I have a half a day dedicated to him. I'm not going to do what every other YouTuber has done. This is not my first time going out looking and documenting a missing child thing. It's all behind me. Please see Gabby Petito footage. But I see YouTubers just do the same thing. Let me give you an example of one thinking outside the box, such a simple idea that I've never seen. There's a neighbor lady who is all fixed up, dressed up nice. And she does an interview with the media. And she says, I believe she says, she was in her house and she heard some screaming and this and that. The lady has a YouTube channel. The lady has been going live a lot for over 2 years now. But she happens to live very close to where Summer Wells was disappeared. Some people think that maybe this lady had something to do with it. So, without causing drama, without saying this person's name, going off what I saw on the media, it would be a simple thing for me to go live. Now, she said she heard a scream. So I have to walk down the street, go in front of her house. Oh, you guys know who this is, right? This is Noelle. She's got like a loud mouth. So she could probably yell louder than a little 5-year-old girl. On top of that, just so it is non biased and as clear as day, what if she makes a video, shows the time to you on the camera, shows the time of her screaming on top of her lungs, and I'm live over there because only two things happen. Either I hear someone who's way louder than a 5-year-old, or maybe we don't. Well, what happens then? Well, if I don't hear the scream, then this one has been lying since day one, and that's not what I'm saying. Maybe we hear it. I've never been there. I can't tell you. But there's simple things that you can do. So I want to explore all theories. Up until I go, I have no problem having anybody on. Anybody on. And they're not going to come on. I'm going to tag them when I do lives, just like I did Ziggy. And I want to see if they'll come on. I'll listen to it. Even if I have a problem with the person, we can talk it out. I wonder how that's going to go. I wonder if they just want to argue or what's their real reason. Regardless, I'm going to explore all theories. Real common sense wise and very clear for you to see. Hey, I cannot wait. And I have a lot of ideas on my own. Enough of me yapping. Till the next one, smash a like. If you want to leave me an idea, leave it below. Write it out clear. What I could use in this video. Sure, you could sell Ziggy out all you want. Go for it. That's terrific. But what I could really use is the write out the Fred Hill theory. I know about the trail, this and that. I know about I know a lot of what's been said regarding him. I'm going. I'm not going to do the same as everybody else. So write it below. White boy's coming. Till the next one. This is real life, though. This is real life, and I'm not with it. Final note. This was originally longer. I don't know. I don't have time to go find it. It cuts off at some point. I'm not even going to put emails and screenshots. You guys get the meat and potatoes here. This is a one and done for me with these people. I'm not arguing with an avatar. But you be the judge and leave in the comments. Till the next one.
Hey, white boy. I got your email, and the questions you have, the answers are way too much to type, so I hope this is all right. I'm just going to explain it to you in a voice memo. Your first question is, why was it mentioned that nobody could talk about Cindy in chat? And I believe it was Pearl who said any bashing of Cindy isn't going to be tolerated and that they'd be deleted, because what happened was, well, and this kind of ties into why Cindy gave her the money to begin with. So I'll just explain all that in one swoop. Okay, Cindy, for months, was a supporter of Ziggy's channel. She threw a lot of super chats, and when Ziggy would have these sales, Cindy would buy out the sale. She said she felt bad for her and wanted to support her because she had a daughter. And Ziggy came on the scene a year ago, and from the very beginning, there was always some major catastrophe and she needed assistance. Like the first thing was last November. She's in an abusive relationship. He's controlling, he's emotionally abusive, and she has to move out. She says she needs her own place, and Benny Keys was doxing her and harassing her, and people were knocking on her windows. So she needed to move out and get away. So she asked her subscribers to help. She asked for a loan, and then was kind of sad fishing, and people sent her a lot of freaking money. One lady I know for a fact gave her $1,000. Everybody cash apped and super chatted. That was the entire month of November and December. So the guy she had to get away from was Jim. Okay, now that was her boyfriend of 9 years. And we now know that Jim was not abusive. He was on her to be more responsible and to stop sleeping all day and to take care of her daughter. So anyway, she moves out December. January, she needs money to go to Tennessee to investigate summer wells. Well, that was a shit show. So then I think she posted pictures of bones that Fred Hill found that were animal bones. So there was immediate fallout, and people on YouTube were pissed. So that was her next excuse. Oh, well, I'm not making money anymore because I can't go live because everybody's coming for me and they're so hateful. So she needs money to pay her bills. Now, end of February, beginning of March, Jim moves in with her at the new house, but she doesn't tell anybody. So she's trying to push this whole thing of, oh, I'm a single mom and my business is failing. But she doesn't have a business. She registered an LLC, but she doesn't actually operate a business. She buys pallets of shit online and then resells them. But eBay had closed her store because she wasn't sending orders in a timely fashion, and she just sucks at it. So Jim moved back on the down low, but she was still kind of hustling her subscribers for money. And then this is when Cindy comes in and starts super chatting, and then she'd have these sales where she'd sell product, and whatever people didn't want, Cindy would buy. So Cindy kind of fell in love with this persona that Ziggy put out about herself. She's a struggling single mom, and it's always everybody else's fault why she can't succeed in life. So fast forward to July. This YouTube psychic tells Ziggy that the man she's meant to be with was some guy from her past, and they're going to get married and have a baby. This is the one. So Ziggy goes and goes through her Facebook Messenger, because there was this Jason guy who was messaging her a couple of years ago trying to date her. So she strikes up a conversation with him, and they start dating in July. Well, the guy she's living with, Jim, finds out about this, and he's pissed. So there's back and forth with them, and then she wants to be with Jason. She wants this new guy to be there. So she actually files a protective order against Jim to have him evicted. Now, she did have her own car. She had a blue Nissan that was in her name and Jim's name, but she owned. But that wasn't good enough for Ziggy. She wanted to drive this brand new white van that Jim had, and he let her drive it. But after he was put out, she evicted him, he took the cars back, but eventually he started letting her drive the van again because she'd always guilt trip him. Oh, my daughter, I have no way to go pick up my prescription or in case there's an emergency or whatever. So anyway, Jim ended up passing away Halloween night. And the very next day, his kids, well, they had to come and collect his belongings because there was like loans out against like this van and stuff. So she goes live that day, flipping her shit, calling his kids greedy, saying money is the root of all evil, just totally trashing kids whose father just died. So she needed a vehicle, and because she has this prescription that she has to pick up weekly, and they can't mail it because it's a specialty medicine. So her subscribers were saying, well, go rent a U-Haul. You can rent one for $100, unlimited miles, and it's cheaper than renting a car. So the subscribers sent her money. She ordered a U-Haul online and then took an Uber to go pick it up. But the thing was, the place that she was renting it from didn't have any in stock, so she had to wait a half hour because they were bringing one from another location. So she gets there, the place is closed, and she goes live, hyperventilating, screaming, oh, I'm stranded in the middle of nowhere, and blah, 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 my phone's about to die, my battery's only at 39%, which that's almost half, like 40%, like your battery's not dying. So people see her in this hysterical, frame of mind. So everybody's trying to call her to calm her down. And she won't answer the phone for anybody except for Cindy. Okay, because she knows, of course, Cindy's going to freaking offer money. And the thing that makes this so wrong is, like, Cindy, she's very generous, very giving, easily manipulated. Cindy has crippling depression. She's never gotten over her husband like 25 years ago. He left her for another woman, and she was left to raise 3 kids on her own. And then when they became adults, dad comes back in the picture. And please don't talk about this because this is her personal business. I'm just giving this to you for context. But he comes back and, uses the adult kids and grandkids as pawns. And, that's enough to make anybody, depressed. So I think Cindy, she wants to love and be loved. So she found this person that she thought was somebody else, and, she wanted to mother her. So, of course, she's crying to Cindy on the phone. So Cindy didn't have cash, so she's like, hey, I have this credit card, if you want to go. And Cindy thought, and Cindy will even tell you this, she thought at most she would spend maybe $3,000, to get a car and stuff like that, and pay a month's rent, because I guess, well, Jim died. He said he was going to pay my rent for November, and he died before he could pay it. But that's the only reason why she was so upset, was because he died before he could pay her bills. So, and Cindy was like, yeah, I thought she'd spend maybe 3,000 max, like get herself a cheap car. And I told her to fix, her existing car. It only needed a new exhaust. That's $400. But she went, she put 700 down on a car, and then blew the rest on bullshit like DoorDash. She was making calls to inmates to use for YouTube content, and then Cindy like immediately regretted. Like, she knew something was up because Ziggy just ghosted her after that. So 2 weeks later, she looks and the card's maxed, and that's when Cindy called me. She's like, oh my God, I fucked up. I gotta tell you what I did. She's like, I don't know why the hell I did this. And she told us the story, and we were pissed. So that's why she offered the money, because Ziggy manipulated her again and made her feel helpless. But like we all know now, she lied about everything. She had a car the whole freaking time, and it was drivable. She drove it herself. Like, she didn't even have to take an Uber to go get a U-Haul truck. Like, that was all freaking made up. But yeah, if you need us to, I guess, come on panel with you to explain it, we'd be willing to do that. It's a really long and fucked up story, but the bottom line is she's 65 and she's extremely vulnerable. Her depression alone makes it wrong because she goes through periods where she doesn't sleep and she gets a little bit manic sometimes, because there were times before where, like, Cindy, you got to stop throwing money around like that, because she, would throw money around, and then the next day after she's rested, like, oh God, why did I do that? But it's, she was preyed on, and Ziggy knew exactly what she was doing. So hopefully that clears up some of it. Like I said, if you want to have us on to explain it, we'd be happy to do so.